meta bans. They're going for counter bans for what Eanix like to play. I'd expect Kestrel or Celeste to be picked up now by ASN.
Yep, Celeste would be a very good choice at this point in time just because of the amount of CTs that will be available in terms of Core Collapse, Merciless Pursuit, and of course Blast Tremor for the side of ASN Esports. But honestly, they could just settle for that Kestrel, like you say. They played quite well on that Kestrel, and yet again, we will be seeing the Kestrel being picked up for the side of ASN Esports.
Yeah, they're happy to pick it. They know if Celeste is let through, they love to play Kestrel Celeste as a combo. Kestrel and Celeste are the main carries for ASN. They're most comfortable heroes to play. But obviously, they leave themselves free to go for a Crystal Kestrel or Weapon Kestrel. Whereas if they picked Celeste, it would be forced as the jungle. Now, Eanix needs to be careful. They obviously could go. They're going to go for their comfort Blackfeather. They played Blackfeather Weapon and Crystal before. They also like to play Glaive, as we saw in the last game. So that could be their last pick. Maybe a lane Weapon Glaive Jungle Crystal Blackfeather. But that does them leave them as triple melee. So they may be vulnerable to a Rhyme. Obviously, Crystal Blackfeather isn't that doesn't count as that much melee. So I think that they're likely to put this Blackfeather into lane. Maybe go a Jungle Celeste. It would be quite a good draft from England.
Yep, Jungle Celeste, if not then that Samuel to just try to outkite that of Kestrel. Samuel, rather relevant pickup. You have a very big ultimate in terms of that Oblivion. They can put an entire team of 3 to sleep if not blocked out, and it's just a way to just be very mobile in the current meta, especially since you have got the Blackfeather now. Idris, however, is also still available for pickup, so they can go for the Idris, place him in lane, and of course CP Blackfeather in that of jungle, like you said, may be countered by Rhyme, but being how mobile both of these heroes are, it is highly improbable that the side of ASN Esports will just go for that Rhyme, and they are not quite known to play that Rhyme. Iron Will Die, however, on the side of Eanix, they are quite comfortable on that Rhyme pickup, but I don't think it's likely that they'll pick it up. We will be seeing a drop, reset, same band, same picks throughout. So the last pick, a lot of options open for the side of Eanix right now. They can settle for that Celeste, Blackfeather, Idris, and even Samuel.
Yeah, I think it's to do with what do Eanix want to play that Blackfeather. Obviously, they could go. They banned it with Batista away, so that's not possible for them. They could go for what they want to. If they want to put Blackfeather as weapon or crystal, and we don't know until they pick their final hero. There aren't that many weapon and crystal flex heroes left, except for Idris. So unless Eanix pick Idris, we're pretty certain we know what Blackfeather's going to be. So ASN could try and counter that. And I think Samuel would be the best choice. Like Samuel or Celeste, because obviously we know Kestrel Celeste is a great combo. And they're going to go for the Koshka. Very early aggression. Gopjaw could work well here for ASN despite his nerfs. And I think that would be a reasonably smart idea. Again, they could just go Celeste and say, okay, we know you're going to be aggressive, but I'm just going to farm up as best I can. And once we get to 16 minutes, then ASN are going to win. What do you think ASN are going to go for here?
But seeing how Aeon222 is so comfortable on that Idris, I'm not surprised if they are going to put this Kestrel in that of jungle, and of course Idris, Aeon on Idris to be in lane. But we are going to see a Rhyme, as you expected, coming out from the side of ASN Esports, going up against triple melee. Rhyme. A very niche pick.
I like it.
Does very well against melee comps, don't get me wrong whatsoever. And of course, with Aeon222 on that weapon Kestrel, a lot of damage and of course a lot of zoning potential as well. Quite an amount of CCs coming out from the side of ASN Esports, but however, on the side of Eanix, they do have got a Blackfeather, which more than usual, more than not, rather, Trophies on the Blackfeather likes to go for that Poison Shift into that of a Serpent's Mask. A lot of sustain, ultimately closing that 3 weapon pickups with that of Tension Bow. So I guess the Blackfeather can sustain and of course reduce the amount of fortified health that the Rhyme can receive with those Witness Fires and those crystal pokes that he does. But at the end of the day, it is just down to execution, and to be honest, the side of ASN Esports looks like they have got a stronger and of course a much easier to execute team comp because of how badly Koshka falls off in the late game.
Yeah, I think Rhyme is a really smart decision because he can be known for being very aggressive in the early game, very good at invading into the enemy jungle, whereas Rhyme's obviously not going to do that against Koshka, but he's now really good at just farming up his own jungle. Really quick clear speed, one of the quickest in the game, Vime's got. And so he can get his jungle quicker than Koshka can at level 1. And so I think Vime will definitely be able to stop Koshka being aggressive. And so if Vime does that, Koshka, as you said, will fall off really hard, will be pretty much worthless in the late game. And then Blackfeather's got to try and pretty much 1v2 against this Kestrel and Vime, who will still be quite important in the late game.
Yep, and once again, we do see, though, the side of Eanix not doing very well in terms of drafting. Open up their team comps to very vulnerable, being very vulnerable to that of Ozo, Rhyme, Idris, even Glaive counters the team comp pretty well. So, you know, the side of ASN Esports had got a lot of options open up for them, and they settled for the Rhyme, which you said you really like. And it's just down to the scaling as well for those crystal carries being placed in the jungle. Koshka just does so bad, and in the late game, she just becomes a stunning machine. But, you know, at this level of gameplay, your Catnip Frenzy is just so easy to block up. I mean, you can use it to burn your reflex blocks, but honestly, the side of ASN Esports have got nothing else to block up against except for Holy Nova, which they can just easily walk out of because there is no slow during the channel time, firstly, and they can just reserve that block for Koshka's ultimate.
Here we are now into the Halcyon Fold for this third and possibly final game. Iangudai obviously going to start very defensive on Koshka. You cannot invade until you're level 2. And Shingy going to do the same because there's really no need to let yourself get caught out. Aeon just has to farm up. So does Shingy. All three members have gone for a light shield. Just ASN really want to make sure Koshka does not invade and snowball them. So they've just gone for early defense against that. Very smart. And I think it's going to go very well for ASN if they just don't let Koshka start the snowball.
Yep, and Weapon Castro, one thing we haven't quite seen a lot of it. We've seen a lot of Crystal Castro coming out so far. But Weapon Castro, the amount of pressure she can put out in lane is also immense, especially going up against the Blackfeather that has to farm in melee range. Granted, of course, your on point gives you the health barrier to help you sustain up against the Castro. On top of that, you have got that Book of Eulogies as well. So that is one thing that we can consider, especially that Blackfeather into the Castro matchup. And of course, if Castro, like said, Aeon at this point in time using a lot of those glimmer shots, but Trophy's still at full health, full energy because of the amount of sustain from Book of Eulogies, and on top of that, that Iron Guard contract as well. Iangudai in the jungle of Chingy.
Yeah, trying to steal some camps away. I think Chingy actually definitely got one of the backs. He actually got both of them. So Koshka unable to secure any farm, which she'll be slightly disappointed about. Yeah, Shingy let the Elder Drink go. Didn't even try and contest it. Didn't try and fight it. But that was obviously really good for Koshka to get that gold. But I don't think Shingy might even try and get the mid-trait now because he knows that Koshka had to back off. Because he saw Koshka at his backs and then Koshka wasn't there. So this leaves Shingy able to try and steal some farm away. He is 2v1 in the jungle, so they are going to try and invade this Koshka. Shingy is in the bush, going to get the root. Chill Winds is available, but he just doesn't use it. Iangudai is too quick. Trying to steal some farm. And now Shingy going to port home. Going to leave Koshka to get that Elder Treant. And not going to try anything. It's going to be a stun in lane, but I think that's just his stacks. Yeah, capturing the guard stacks. Iangudai was spotted by a scout trap. He is still going to the jungle, and Shingy did port home. He's going to get it. Koshka is level 4. Going to do 20 left. Going to get one of the minions. He'll probably be able to secure the second one. Yep, 2 farm for Iangudai. Shingy going to boots in. Iangudai going to boots away, but the boot will still land for Chill Winds and the stun. That may be a kill for Shingy. Good speed boost for Koshka. Tezubo going one way. Shingy going the other way. Shingy didn't try to damage Iangudai with the baits. He's running for so long, so far. This is just so troll for Koshka. Tezubo with a stun. Will he be able to do it? Yes, he will. First blood to the Catherine. But Koshka got 2 back, so the gold is pretty even.
Yeah, I mean, more usual than not, you should see Grace as picking up the first blood because of how Grace likes to play that very aggressive roam in that of early game. But of course, very good players coming up from Tezubo. Granted, Chingy has got all of the backs of Chingy. But at the end of it all, it kind of pays off because it evens out at the end of the day. Although the first blood could have just went for Chingy, but Chingy was just way too slow in this early game, especially up against this Koshka.
Yeah, Shingy managing to get the Elder Treant and the fronts away from Koshka. Iangudai still is ahead. The backs are up for both people. Tuffy's good rotation. Tezubo port out. Shingy going to do what he can. Good double root with the chill wins. Tesla is going to run. Truffy's picking up the kill. 1 on point, and now Aeon is caught out. He cannot go invisible. Hasn't got enough weapon power. Aeon going very low. Angudai going to be boots away and be okay. Now there's going to be Aeon trying to get as much farm as he can under this turret. He's going to do quite well at clearing it, and now that is Tesla with the fountain. Rubber Monkey hasn't got one and can't actually afford it yet, so Eanix aren't in a good position to fight as a 3-man team.
Yep, they are in a good position indeed. But with how fast Koshka is in that early game, I don't think the side of ASN Esports will be looking to fight whatsoever. Not until Chingy gets 1 or 2, or just be very close to the tier 3 items. And on top of that as well, get an upgrade in that boots. But we do see Chingy though rotating up the lane.
Aeon's going to be in trouble. Good fountain, 150 on a couple of those ticks. Means Aeon was very low, but Tesboy found it was the perfect time to keep him healthy. Truffy's with a good engage, and Angudai's level 6. Reflex block is not on Aeon. He can't afford it yet. He has to sell a potion if he wants to get a slot for that. And Shingy also has no slots for a block. So Yummy Frenzy would get a pretty easy kill at this point if Koshka rotates up the lane. And Aeon knows that. He knows Koshka's probably level 6, but he is level 5. And Angudai is going to be there. There's Yummy Frenzy. Going to be at the turret, and there's going to be a stun and an actual camo trap. It will pop. Aeon can do quite a lot of damage, but he will fall. Actually, he got the kill to Koshka first, and then Blackfeather manages to pick up the kill onto Aeon. A good rotation from Aeon. He knew that the Yummy Frenzy was there, so he just put an active camo trap down and got under turret. So then, once Tesla landed the stun, Koshka was stuck inside the active camo trap. Easy stun for Kestrel. Koshka under turret, take a couple of turret shots, and they traded 1 for 1. Not just giving away 1 kill, as you would expect when Koshka comes with that Yummy Frenzy in lane.
Yep, but there is one thing bad for Rhyme, at least, is the slow movement speed in that of early game. But while saying that,
is going to get rooted by the chill win. Valkyrie's not going to get a stun. Rubber Monkey's just going to be slowed up for a little bit. Angry, you die up in lane. Still no block for Aeon. Yummy Frenzy in 15 seconds. Now ASN, they are even on gold. They'll be very happy with that. And they're just going to try and push this wave as best they can. Blackfeather being dead. Angry taking a lot of poke to this Kestrel. Rhyme is on top of her, but she's going to be able to get away before Chillwinds manages to root her up. And now Aeon's going to try and push this wave. A couple of demo shots unleashed onto the turret. Shingy doing a lot of damage as well, but Truffy's is back in lane, so there will not be any more engage. ASN going to back off.
Yep, they will back off indeed. And honestly, Chingy, although I've been going on and on about how slow Rhyme is in that early game, but he is putting up some pressure in that of lane as well. And it's quite unlike, I mean, from his gameplay wise, he will definitely do it, but it's quite unlike that of Rhyme because of how slow you are, and you are kind of restricted by your movement speed at the end of the day as compared to Koshka at least. But Angudai not putting out the pressure that Koshka needs to in that early game. And we did see in yesterday's game that, you know, if a Koshka falls out, and no matter how good of a carry you have placed in lane, in yesterday's games at least we did see the Baron being placed in lane, but it can still be capitalized on, because if you do not use your early game prowess as a Koshka, then you fall out so bad. No matter how good your carry is, they can just take advantage of that, especially since Chingy and that of Aeon 222 just scale so very well.
Truffy is going to get caught out. There's a Holy Nova double stun. Shingy is now not in a good position. Yummy Frenzy is blocked. Valkyrie getting a 3-man slow. Truffy's goes defensive to try and get a kill. Shingy has got 5 stacks. Blackfeather could try and go for that Fatal Part. I don't think it would quite do enough execute damage. Now Aeon's rotating up. He has got himself a reflex block, but Yummy Frenzy is on cooldown. So this boy just going to go in for a little bit of poke. And now Angudai is up in lane. He's quite low, but Aeon is unleashing glimmer shots. Angudai is going to go in. One more basic attack would kill him, but there's the Divine Intervention. Nice heal up, back to about 1/3 health. And now Angudai going to rotate to his jungle. Tesla Boy can afford a Crucible when he shops, which is extremely good for him. Shingy wants to go in onto Blackfeather. Nice little bit of poke. Angudai rotating up the Yummy Frenzy in 22 seconds. So there won't be a fight from Eanix. Tesla Boy going to get that Crucible. So will Aeon actually brought home. So this could be time for Eanix to push the wave. They are going to do it. They're going to try and get this turret. And I think Shingy needs to rotate up the lane, or else there will be a lot of damage falling onto this turret. And Eanix is going to push it. They do know about it now. There's Tesla Boy. He's got the Vast Tremor. They're going to get the first turret. Will Eanix make a mistake? Will they be out of position? Rose defensive and boots. And ASN unable to defend the turret, unable to get a kill. Now they have to try and push their own turret. But ASN going to be slightly disappointed to let that go. Eanix not pressuring the early game that well at the moment.
Well, not well indeed, but even in 9 minutes, they scored the first turret, but then now we will be looking at a fight.
And that's Vainglory, lovely stun by the active camo. Aeon with the 1v1 on Koshka, easy kill. And yeah, Koshka tried to dive in, but Aeon got a lovely stun mid-pouncy bun to pick up that kill. TensorBoy still with the Blast Tremor, still available to try and get a silence. Duffy's is going to take a bit of hope. There's the Blast Tremor, this is going to go straight to the turret. Xingyi doing a bit of damage, but they are going to pick up a 1-for-1 turret trade. And ASN now 5k gold ahead. This is pretty disastrous for Eanix.
5k, I think it's 500 gold ahead.
500 gold ahead, that's much better for, much more like it.
For the side of ASN, in favor for ASN. When you said 5k, I was just looking at the score, but I'm like, is my game lagging or what?
Can I not do maths properly? No, it's definitely 5. It was 500. Now it's almost dead even between the two scenes. But yeah, 5k gold would be a lot more at this point of the game.
Yeah, but honestly though, Xingyi is just putting in a lot of work, although it's not quite shown in that KDA of his. He's sitting at 0-0 and 1, but
Xingyi's
however...
going to be in trouble. Yep, that's going to be the Valkyrie and a lovely shield win. Xingyi doing so much work. Pretty much 1v3 now. The best team rotating down. Aeon solo. Vainglory with a lovely dive. Now Aeon has no glimmer shots. Wait for them, Aeon. Wait. One shot does not quite connect. I think that's Goldmine. Now TensorBoy going to take a little bit of poke. There's an active camo trap. They know about it, and now Apex is going to go for the turret. Go for the Goldmine, sorry. It may be stolen. TensorBoy. They're going for it. All 3 members of ASN are going to try and steal this Goldmine away. Eanix know about it. They know where they are. One shot isn't available. Glimmer shots are. Truffy's going to dive onto Aeon. Aeon taking a bit of poke. Truffy's taking even more damage. One base catch blast, but not quite enough. And the Goldmine will be secured by Vime. They steal it away. He gets a double kill. ASN have stolen every single objective from Eanix that can be stolen, I think, so far. And Eanix just going to be so distraught. They got the fight win. They were ahead. Then Xingyi came in with the Goldmine and a double kill with that shit. What was it? Winter Spire from Vime. When everyone tries to secure the Goldmine, he managed to pick it up.
That is just so sad for Eanix. 3 Kraken steals, not enough. ASN just went in for the Goldmine just to sprinkle salt on those wounds of ASN East. Eanix at least, and this will just plunge the side of ASN Esports just further and way ahead of that of Eanix. I mean, not in terms of gold, but of course morality is one thing as well, of how well you are in your mental state of mind going up against ASN Esports. Now they can have a new name, you know, for themselves, and that's just basically, I mean, not even heartbreakers, yeah, they are just thing stealers. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, a lot of times, ASN Esports, they can be in a back feet. And we did see earlier on as well, the side of Eanix really pushed ASN Esports till they could not continue to fight and had to force, and was forced to back off.
Waiting in the bush, they'll be caught out. TensorBoy still going to go do a bit of damage. Vainglory diving in onto Aeon. Valkyrie going to slow him up. Aeon is very low, but he's going to be healed up by the fountain, and that will be a dead Koshka. Lovely play by Aeon. What a kite back. The fountain saved his life. Starting to get Koshka out. Now Truffy's in a bad position. That's a 2-man. Holy Nova, one monkey will die for it though. Now Aeon with the double. He wants to work towards that triple. Truffy's is going to be able to back off. And Aeon wants to sneak past the Goldmine and not get aggroed by it. He will be okay.
Yep, he will.
Good fight for ASN.
Good fight indeed, and a very good turnaround, in fact, for the side of ASN Esports. Now though, Truffy's looking like he might be in some kind of trouble. Ooh, that damage on those Winter Spires. But Vainglory will be back in lane right now, so the side of ASN Esports may just look to back off.
Yeah, Vainglory is back. Yummy Cat Frenzy is available. There's obviously a Crucible, which is now respawned. Fountain's in about 10 seconds, so ASN ready to fight. They want to. Yeah, what happened in that fight? Why was ASN able to turn it around, not sure?
But honestly, in that particular fight itself, it was just Aeon, as you said earlier, just fantastic kiting coming up from Aeon. And of course, I must say, the very good placement of that Valkyrie as well, that kind of slowed Truffy's on that, Vainglory on that Koshka, that kind of changed the tide of the fight. And Aeon, with the amount of weapon power he has, could in time put down that active camo trap, and the Valkyrie slowed down Vainglory. Aeon kite backwards, shot a basic attack, and boom, Vainglory got stunned, and that is how ASN Esports really got ahead once again.
There's going to be a bit of damage onto Aeon, but much more damage onto Angular. As soon as he tries to dive in on this Koshka, just so much damage from Kestrel. And there's a big wave to clear, so Aeon's going to focus on that, then work towards possibly a gold mine, but probably just wanting to fight. I think ASN aren't going to let their gold mine be stolen away. They're going to kill you before you can even try and steal it. Aeon with 3 damage items, so have they Breaking Point and Tyrants. Very interesting build. We don't see Breaking Point that much. Now Angular going to try and press it in, but he's going to get Glimmer Shots to the face. One more basic, not quite going to be enough, because he gets the heal and the Fountain and Divine Intervention. But Monkey wants to seal it, and he will get it. Everything has been stolen today. He's going to die for it, but oh well. They stole a gold mine from me, I'll steal a gold mine from them. I think ASN should have definitely gone for the kill. They shouldn't have just secured the gold mine. They are now going to get a Crystal Sentry off of that, but I'm sure they would have launched the gold mine as well. Both defensive to block that Mercy's Pursuit. The minion wasn't stolen away, so not absolutely everything's being stolen, but pretty much.
So the moral of the story, going up against, especially for both of these teams, is that do not start any form of objective that can be stolen away.
Never start a neutral objective. Start turrets, that's fine, but don't ever start a neutral objective.
Yeah, because it will be stolen away by the other team. But of course, we haven't quite seen the side of Eanix take away any Kraken yet from ASN Esports. So that is one good thing from them, or I might just jinx it, and ASN Esports may start that Kraken and just be stolen away by that of Eanix. But then again, ASN Esports, they did very well in that early game, where they saw that Eanix wanted to come in for the steal. They just got Glaive very low. In the previous game at least, got Glaive very low. Glaive was forced to back off, but now they might be looking for a team fight.
Going to go in a block on the Chill Winds, trying to put the anti-combat stand. That is a good crucible for the Blast Tremor. Echo was used. There's the second one. There's the boy Blast Tremor, fantastic onto Koshka. She can't do that much work. Going to die to Aeon. That was so well played by ASN. What can Eanix do? There's not that much. ASN is a fantastically coordinated team fight. Wow.
Very coordinated indeed, very well orchestrated, that particular team fight, and very good use of Echo as well. A lot of times when we do see an Echo being built up for the side, for Catherine, what she'll do is blast Tremor, Echo, and immediately blast Tremor after. But Tezabon, this Catherine, decided that it was a better idea to just hold that silence for a little more, and it paid off for them at the end of it all. And it's just really good for the side of ASN Esports now that they won that fight. Did not score the A's, but they do not need it to secure that Kraken, and now they will start pushing into the base of ASN Esports.
Well, Monkey, early Crucible, Tezabon's 3, last time in 5 seconds, good Atlas. Actually onto Koshka, not onto Scruffy, but Monkey. It will fall to Kestrel. There's 9 breaking point stacks, up to 10. Aeon gonna get not quite 1. He wants to get Koshka. Easy pickup, double kill for Kestrel. That's an ace for ASN, and they're probably just gonna win from this Kraken push.
Yep, they can definitely clear and of course take this game with this Kraken push. They don't even need that Kraken with minions just pushing in, and they are just going in for that turret, for that second turret, and ultimately the Bane. What can Eanix do? Absolutely nothing. Granted, it did steal a gold mine, but that is just not enough yet to put you back into this best of 5 and win you this game to push it into the best of 4, or rather into the 4th game. So of course, congratulations, a big one to ASN Esports making into the Live Championships.
ASN with a dominant 3-0 victory. I think after the slightly shaky first game, they just came through and showed themselves to be the better team today. Again, that last team fight and the one before it, Catherine was atlasing anyone, even getting Koshka was kind of worth it.